How do you run a 100-meter dash? You run for dear life, as though a man-eater, lion, tiger were chasing you. You run at the top of your speed for dear life. In fact, that is the creative visualization told to champion runners of the 100-meter race. Run as though a man-eater were chasing you for dear life. That is the imagination that the 100-meter runner has to do. Now I ask you, if you had to run at the same speed for another 100 meters, what would happen? You would perhaps manage. Another 100 meters? You would barely manage. Another 100 meters? Your heart would probably explode with a cardiac arrest. It would explode. On the other hand, how do you run a marathon? Have you seen a marathon being run? You start gradually. Build up just enough speed to run the whole course, and you establish a rhythm. Establishing a rhythm is the most essential part of a good marathon runner's technique. Rhythm. He does not run in fits and starts. He does not show excessive bursts of speed. And ultimately, he has strength to have a burst when he has the last 100 meters to run. What is life, my friends? Life also is a marathon. Got the message? Don't run your life like a 100-meter dash, hurtling from one achievement to another, one acquisition to another, hard pressed for time always. No time to relax, to enjoy, to sleep, to rest, to do the things you like but just cannot find time for. I suggest do not even get into a profession or a workplace which takes away your leisure time and your sleep, where one deadline ends to start another deadline. Deadlines are important to get things done, but hurtling from one deadline to another, all the time tormented by it, is like the speed of 100 meters carrying on for another 100 meters and then another 100 meters and so on and on and on. Your heart will burst with a cardiac arrest. So what do we do? Set an even pace to life, wherein achievement gels with time to stand and stare, where you do activities during the day that don't interfere with rest at night, where you do activities during the day that don't interfere with rest at night, where all achievement is a steady progress. Steady is the word. Suited to your temperament, where all achievement is a steady progress suited to your temperament, not guided by competition with peers. Where you are not hurtling down a course of achievement after achievement and bursting your heart to do so, either to prove it to others or, as more often is the case, to your own self. So what do you do practically? Firstly, have sufficient time for sleep. Have a relaxed morning cup of tea or coffee. Have a leisurely bath. Have laughter. Have hobbies. Have non-competitive sports and exercising. For example, nature trails, going for a trek. Have leisurely walks, not rushed for time or to beat someone who walks along with you. You are not there to beat someone who is walking along. You must have seen that. If someone overtakes you in a walk in the garden, you increase your pace to try and outstep him till he finally overtakes you. Don't match his pace. Set your own pace and keep to it. Similar should be romance. Have romance where there is unconditional acceptance, not the need to prove your love all the time. By bigger and bigger things bought, by demands and increasing demands you are barely coping to match. Similarly, let there be time for unhurried love-making, not rushing yourself and your partner through the process as though even there you have a point to prove. Have relationships where you can just unwind, just be yourself without a compulsive need to brag about your achievements always. For such bragging is often just to keep up with others, which is wholly unnecessary. In other words, have time for unhurried activities. Have time for unhurried prayer, for yoga, even for reading scriptures if you so wish. But it must all be unhurried, not rushing through prayer, not rushing through your yoga, thinking of the waiting deadlines. Then even yoga can be counterproductive. And you may feel you are de-stressing yourself when you actually are not. You are making yoga into another stressful activity in the chain that engulfs you all through the day. That's why you find people doing yoga and developing heart attacks. Yoga is not the culprit. Hurry while doing it is the culprit. The key is to start an unhurried morning and set an even pace all through the day for your work schedule. You will work more, you will work better, and you will have energy left to come home and enjoy some fun time with your family and friends. Like the marathon runner who starts gradually, establishes a rhythm, and has energy left for a final burst before he finishes. And such a day then leads to a good night's sleep. Not just a wish of good night, for we do wish people good night, don't we? You don't want that to remain just a wish. For a real good night full of refreshing, restful sleep, you need to have had an even-paced day. Even-paced is the key. Even-paced. Like the marathon runner's rhythm we talked of earlier. Remember the rhythm setting of the marathon runner, which makes him complete the whole big race. That's the key. That's the key. Even-paced. To be back and up the next day, again, ready for more, for another marathon run, enjoyable, achieving, purposeful, but rhythmic and therefore relaxed. This will bring rhythm to your life, and also give it that much needed repose and rest to carry on and on and on and on. A life of full span of smiles and cheer and rhythm and equanimity. Unlike the 100-meter runner who starts with a great burst, and runs for dear life all through and can barely stand at the end of the race. Have you seen 100-meter runners after the race is over? All of them are panting. Most of them can barely stand. They are panting for breath. They sit down or even lie down with extreme exhaustion. If you run your day like this, your state also will be the same. You will have no energy left to even talk at the end of the day. What to talk of enjoying an evening with family or friends. And the body may be in such pain that you can hardly sleep at night. The choice is yours. What do you want? I hope you choose the obvious. Remember, life is not a 100-meter dash. It's a marathon. Run it like one and enjoy the greenery around as you do. I hope you enjoy this wonderful journey of life with me, remembering the ground rules of well-being. Marathon, not 100 meters, not 100 meters. Thank you, my friends.